working on another video right now that I think will be actually really important for everyone, especially at this time. But before I get to finishing that one, I just wanted to make this really quick because I absolutely need everyone who can hear me to fully understand that just because you cannot conceive of evil in the ways that it exists outside of, say, like a Hollywood movie or a Marvel Comics bad guy or something, does not mean that that evil does not exist, and it is not something that we as a society, we as human beings are going to have to contend with now. Because it's on full display at this point, and you cannot ignore it. It is in your face. It is blatant. It is about as ostentatious as I've ever seen in my whole life, in my entire existence on Earth. And I turned on the computer, I was thinking of recording this, and the first thing I was confronted with was an article about a priest in Florida who has been feeding the homeless out of a Catholic mission in Oakland Park for the last 36 years.
I go to the park, I exercise there, and I even come to Mass here.
It depends on the help to give him a hand up.
I don't know any other church or any other pastor that will help us the way that he has.
And they rezoned his mission in 2014. They rezoned the area, and they have been charging him $125 fines every single day since they rezoned it in 2014 to force him to stop feeding homeless people.
So Christ was very clear about us helping his people, and it doesn't matter what stage of life or who you are. Everybody's just a child of God, point blank, right?
Because he's operating a non-permitted soup kitchen. Everything about our society is completely inverted and anti-human and evil. Evil. Like the fruits of the devil.
Really evil. Like so evil that you would say it was evil. Like it's the fruits of the devil.
And it's undeniable now. There is not any amount of dressing up this pig and having it be a princess. This is a pig. It is a gross, stanky, disgusting, oily pig in your face. Sadly, that's the average day on the internet. I can open up this internet at any given time and I will be confronted with just the sheer levels of absolute horror that our society has mutated into now. The idea that we're going to continue to pretend like that's not the case or try to make this not be that when it totally is, and we're going to just lie to ourselves, is some really dystopian hopium. But evil absolutely exists, and I feel like the inability for the average person to conceive of the levels of darkness that are happening is part of why that darkness is allowed to continue operating with impunity, basically, and not being put in check. Because the average person thinks they're a good person, and they just assume that most people are. And I think most people probably are. But obviously, whatever levels of darkness have been lurching about, squelching under the sewers, in the shadows, in the nightmares of humanity, it has gotten so bad that they don't feel anymore like used to be back in the day at some point. They at least tried to pretend to everyone else's face. That was the psychopath way. Now, they're just full on, there's not even any attempt to hide it. Shame's probably the wrong word. I don't think they had shame to begin with, but there's no attempt to hide it anymore. It's just blatantly in your face, grotesque, obvious evil. Case in point number one is Lindsey Graham. I think we all know Lindsey Graham has serious mental issues.
I just want to say I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
That probably, I don't know. I'm not going to try to psychoanalyze this man, but obviously someone should. It probably should be studied. It probably should be studied scientifically as a way to help humanity in the future.
Trump is my favorite president. We've run out of bombs. We didn't run out of bombs in World War II.
But at this point, because he finally got his fondest wish, I guess, he's just openly salivating, and I mean in a way that we've never seen, that, like, even up to now. And this is pretty bad. But this man is openly salivating over blood.
Many people in this part of the world say what happened in Gaza does not align with Christian values. Killing children, killing mothers,
Well, to be honest
killing
with you,
families
yeah.
who are not militants.
Yeah, I don't buy that at all.
Why?
Because what did we do in World War II? Did we think 1 minute about starving the Germans? Did we bomb every city into to smithereens? So this
You
is a
compare
war. No,
October
this is,
7th to World War II.
Yes, I am. This is an absolute existential threat to the Jewish people, to the world. If you don't understand this is a threat to Israel's
And then they
survival,
flattened Gaza.
just flatten it. We flattened Berlin. We flattened Tokyo. Were we wrong to drop an atomic bomb to end the Japanese reign of terror? Were we? So my view, if I were Israel, I would have probably done it the same way. We flattened Germany. We flattened Japan.
How many Americans
Wait a
believe
minute.
this?
Out of that,
the way that how many Americans think the way that you do?
I think most Republicans think the way I do.
Even young ones.
You're just out of touch if you don't understand.
There's not much further down in the basement you can get than Lindsey Graham has gotten in this last few months.
When this regime goes down, we're going to have a new Mideast. We're going to make a ton of money.
It's extremely disgusting.
We're devastating the enemy. I'm not looking for a fair fight. If we get in a fight, I want to win it. I want to win it quick. I'm in Miami. You see this hat? Free Cuba. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
The liberation of Cuba is upon us. It's just a matter of time now. You see this hat? Make Iran great. President Trump said the only way to make Iran great.
And he's also letting you know that he doesn't stand with America, just by the way. He's fully letting everyone know that as a sitting senator of the United States Congress, he stands with a totally different country. Just so everyone is clear.
To all the isolationists, I don't believe. Forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our dying day. God bless Israel.
Right.
We should move all our stuff to Israel. Thank you.
The White House is now putting out cartoons laced with war footage.
You want to see me do it again? You want to see me do it again? You want to see me do it again?
And video games laced with war footage, and that was already bad enough. Like that's some pretty basement level. But like now they're actually making AI slop videos. Mixed with blowing people up. President is now openly making eugenical statements.
A lot of them were let in here. They shouldn't have been let in. Others are just bad. They go bad. Something wrong. There's something wrong there.
So
the genetics are not exactly, they're not exactly your genetic. It's one of those problems, Brian. It's a terrible thing, and it happens.
This is a way to dehumanize people so that it somehow makes it okay what you're doing, even though what you're doing is absolutely not okay.
the Navy is gone. It's all lying at the bottom of the ocean. 46 ships. Can you believe it? In fact, I got a little upset with our people. I said, what quality of ship? Excellent, sir. Top of the line. I said, why did we just capture the ship? We could have used it. Why did we sink them? They said, it's more fun to sink them. I said, they like sinking them better.
And every single person listening to me who grew up in what used to be America learned about the types of atrocities that happened in the 20th century from despotic, tyrannical dictators. And they learned why that is bad. Now we're watching that unfold. We're just watching that happen.
Others are just bad. They go bad. Something wrong. There's something wrong there.
So
the genetics are not exactly, they're not exactly your genetic. It's one of those problems, Brian.
And he's making commentary on Fox News. I mean, these people on Fox News, by the way, what's her name? CFR lady over here. When Lindsey Graham went on there and was making jokes about his hats, talking about how they're keeping oil out of Cuba so they can basically starve those people out so they can take it over, which is just horrifying. It's really horrifying what they're doing. And he's got a hat that says, "Make Iran Great Again." Because, that's really been the policy, to spread democracy and make all these countries great again by bombing them into the ground and destroying them completely. Miss been a member of Council on Foreign Relations over there, Maria Bartiromo, she just let out this laugh.
I'm in Miami. You see this hat? Free Cuba. Stay tuned. Yeah. The liberation of Cuba is upon us. It's just a matter of time now. You see this hat? Make Iran great. President Trump said the only way to make Iran great is for the people to take over.
That's just so funny.
Trump said the only way to make Iran great.
So people are starving and suffering in Cuba.
Breaking news into CNN. Cuba's electrical grid has suffered a complete and total collapse. This is according to the country's power operator. It's the first nationwide blackout since the U.S. effectively shut off the flow of oil to Cuba.
I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba. That'd be good. That's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I can do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth?
People are dying in the Middle East, including our own soldiers that have been sent over there. And these people are laughing it up on TV. They just think that's hilarious. And Lindsey Graham's got his "Make Iran Great Again" hat. They're just blatantly psychotic. And it's totally fine to just have that be on full display for everyone to see. They have no self-awareness of that at all.
No, I don't want to brag. But, they've said this about a lot of things. No other president could do some of this shit I'm doing.
That's the other thing. All of these people are insulated from their own evil. Like, they obviously are so insulated, in fact, they have almost no self-awareness at all at this point, that they are basically snarling monster caricatures where a person once stood. Like, she's on national television and doesn't realize that's what she looks like. She doesn't realize how disgustingly heinous and ugly, just purely through and through, down to her atoms. She's just so nasty of a person to be thinking that any words coming out of Lindsey Graham's mouth are funny enough to laugh like that. That's not I'm nervous, I feel like embarrassed and I don't know how to handle this situation laugh. That's her just fully giving in to her nastiest, basest level of herself as a person who exists. These people are gross. They're abhorrent people, and they have to be called out on it. These are the people, by the way, that are brainwashing your boomer family members to follow some of the worst wrong side of history agendas we've ever seen in our lifetimes. These nasty, evil, snarling monster people who are salivating with bloodlust over war and death.
I am hearing Hezbollah has joined this fight from the north, firing missiles from Lebanon. Is that true, and how should we react to it?
That is who your grandma and your parents are being brainwashed by. I'm wondering how much of the world we could save just by getting our boomer relatives to turn off the Fox News right now. Really, all of it is bullshit, but the Fox News specifically has gone full beyond neocon. This is so far beyond any George W. Bush era, because those people still try to have some kind of pretense, like they had some kind of moral high ground or anything. They're not doing that this time. They're just in your face, full on bloodlust, demons salivating over death and destruction and murder. And Lindsey Graham doesn't have any children. He doesn't have any stake in the future. He's not going over there to fight in any of these wars.